Okay, this is Mark, video number 8. Okay, so let's see. Let me put up the right display. Okay, so here's where we left off. We're just getting things kind of filled in as we go and trying to get rid of all the little glitches along the way. I've got these connectors that need to be moved way closer, but I'm going to kind of wait on that. I've got these two LEDs that need to connect to this pin, these pins over here. I've got the memory chips, and I got a few miscellaneous parts stuck up in the air. In the last video, we just decided to redo these traces around inside here, and that gives us a nice 3.3 volt, and I did get the 3 volt connected to the power supply. I'm looking for traces that need to go someplace. This 3.3 volt line goes somewhere down below. Oh, it has to go to here. We'll deal with that in a bit because it'll be in enough places. My big concern is this guy here, which is it needs to connect to that trace clear up there. And it's going to be just a little bit, if I can get it to the blue level, I can just take it straight up there. So if I get a via in here, that'll be fine. Let's see if that'll let us do that. So I want a via, but I don't think it's going to let me. Okay, so if I move this trace over a little bit, let me just delete this trace for the moment. And let me draw the other one in. It still won't let me. Let me just delete these two for the moment and move these things back. I'll have to kind of reroute things a little bit. See, that's so big. Okay, so we need to, let me get these out of here for the moment. And, the other thing I can make some space with is the ground trace, the ground trace here needs to move over a little. And I got plenty of space to do that. Let me reroute that one. That just goes straight through. Let me just delete this one and that one. I want a ground trace at 24 mils, and I want to come from here, this via. Better tell it I want to do a trace, but I want to come over a little bit. Give me a little bit more room here. So now I can bring the via in without a problem. Back to 6 mil. Red. Give me a trace. This. And I want to come over as much as I can and put a via in here. Okay, so now I'm doing that. Now I can come back to the top. And I'm going to try to do a via. I need to be up a little bit because I know that those other... Do that. That. Because I know I need to get these guys out too. So, I mean, that's going to be a problem. So that takes care of that problem trace here. Now, these two still have to connect. But that should be straightforward now. Okay, so those are back. This is a 3.3 volt rat's nest line here, so that we'll deal with. Those are not connected. I might put test points on those yet, so I'll think about that. Because as I said, you can't connect to the wires later, so you need to kind of do it now. But we can connect all of these. That should be really pretty straightforward. And I think I'll bring the ground in from the outside. See, I've got a ground that's clear over here. And my 3.3 volts is also clear over here that needs to come through. And the other thing I can do, well, I needed 3.3 there also. So we do need the 3.3 down there. So I'm just looking at my options here. 3.3 is right here. It's also right here, so it's already on the blue side. It looks like that'll go through there. Let's just do that. It'll let me know if I'm mistaken. This auto routing is kind of funky. Okay, let me just do this. Now on the red side, I need this 3.3 on this line. It's not a current carrying line, so I can make it quite a bit smaller. I'll still leave it a little bigger. We're down to 72 traces left. Okay. Let me go ahead and run a ground trace down to connect in also. These will all be in red, so I could actually do a blue ground trace. It'd have to come clear down to where? I can't get through there. That's gotta... I'll have to come through on the other side. Okay. So that's a ground. It's in red. Well, this is my ground. I can just pull it from there. Let me just do a blue trace. 24 mil. You know, we could leave it red because this is going to be along the edge of the board and it's just not going to be much of a problem. Oh, I've got a trace there. Okay. Let me go ahead and do blue. Okay. So that goes all the way up, and I can put it in just as tight as it'll let me go. I mean, it has the keep out zones and everything. So I mean, it's just let it go as tight as it wants. So now I got the ground and the plus 3.3, and all of these lines connect straight in. And I want to leave as much space down here as I can in case I decide to put some test points in there. So let's just go with that. 6 mil trace, and we want to just come in and do them. So I'm going to come up. And I want to just bump it against the limits. I suppose that's fine. No, I think I want to do that tighter than that. Against that limit. So a lot of this is just almost... I kind of want that. I want more angle there. Okay. No particularly good reason. And I think we're almost. Okay, the 3.3 line is connected. I got 4 things in here, and they're on pins 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, let me save my work. It's always a good thing to do that once in a while. Let's go back to the schematic for a second. Here are those not connected. Let me insert a test point. And I can put a 1 millimeter one in there. It's just something that I can solder to if I need to. Okay, test point. Footprint. Pin header, test points. Bridge pass, loop, test point, pad. 1 millimeter. Squares or rounds? Let's go for round. Okay. So I want to put that, and I'm going to, I don't need it to say test point. Let me just, while we're at this thing, let me edit the parameters here. There it is. Visible? No, I don't need that visible. And I want to move the actual label. Really convenient. Okay, and I'm going to do all 4 of them. So now I can say duplicate. Why are you not duplicating? You know, some things are a little goofy. Let me save it, close it, save it, and close it. I'm going to close KiCad and bring it back up. Just because it's not behaving like I want it to. There we go. Just have to click the right point. Okay. Okay, there's 4 test points. Okay, let me and I need traces. Let's get the I don't know, can I get it without moving that label around? That label's in a funny spot. Maybe I can move the label. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get some weird wires here. Okay. I've added 4 test points. Okay. Save it. Back to layout. Update from schematic. Update PCB. Close. There's my test points. And we will just... They're going to go down there, and we'll see. If we can't put them all in, then we won't. That's 1 millimeter. Wow. I can't get those all in there. Oh, they can go all the way down. It looks like test point 1 is at the bottom. Let's move that one first. So it can go clear. You know, I'm not going to get them in there. But that is 1 millimeter diameter pad. Let's just put in 1 and call it good. Test point 1. Trace, 6 mil, add a trace. There. So that's not going to work. So let's go back to schematic. I kept that one. Let me get rid of these. And put those no connects back in there. So it's not that hard to add and then take back out components. Okay, so I've got it back the way I want it. Save it, go back to layout, update from there, delete footprints with no symbols. Well, you know, I've got some symbols on there without that, and then it says remove unused footprints. Okay, update, close. So now those are gone, but now I've got a test point 1. Okay. Let's see, where are we at then? I've got these 4 that need to come out. And have to figure out where I want to put the connectors now. Yeah, that should be up next. And part of it is the display connector. Why is that a 5-pin? What do we got? J4. Oh, I want J3. Where's my J3? Oh, it's clear up there. Okay. Well, we'll move these things down a little tighter and then try to get it all to fit in. These guys are for the laser pointers. These are for the other. And what one is connected to where, we're going to adjust those a bunch also. So I'm just debating on which way I want to move things around. So the connectors could be easiest. Now these guys are already on 10th-inch centers. I kind of want to keep them that way. So let me go ahead and set my grid back up to 10th. So when I move them, they'll stay on 10th-inch centers. Whereas, are these down there on 10ths also? They appear to be. Okay. So if I come in here and say, select this guy and move it, one of them is on +5. Oh, we've got 3 connectors. You know, we can do something else here too. There's enough space between these to run a trace, so I could actually run these kind of like this. That might be useful. I'm trying to make this look better. Okay. You know, I think that'll work too. Let me try this. Our board's getting closer to being square. Kind of like that. I've still got, it's kind of messy as to which one goes where at this point, but I don't think it'll be that bad. That's 5 volts on the top. Here's 5 volts right here, so that'll be easy to get in. And then I'll reorient these wires on the output to different pins. And that I'll just take manually, but that'll be in the next video already. But I like that. Now I've got a couple of LEDs, and I haven't decided where they're going to end up. But they really need to go close to the top. Let me move the switch up. Oh, I'm still on 10th inch. Let me... Now, I assume my edge of the board is going to be pretty close over here. So here's the 2 LEDs. So they'll be pretty close to each other and close to the edge of the board. I think that'll be okay. This U3 is our memory chip. That could come down here a little bit. The C9 there. Okay. I wonder if I think I want to get the switch. Move these over here. Something like that might work. As I said, we're getting close. Need to get my 5 volts run all over the place. That's easy enough. Let's go for this layout then. Okay, so I'm going to take my, let me get the 5 volt going where it needs to go. And it takes a lot of current, so we're going to take it right there. The 5 volt line is just this piece here that we want to use. So I need a trace. I'm going to come up here, and I need to come out to the outside of this part. I don't want to put the via underneath it. And I'm going to come back over here and then do this. Okay, so that's now my 5 volt. And I'm on the, I can stay at 24 mils and I can just do this. Because those are through-hole pads, so they... And I get 5 volts over to here, too. Oops, those will have to be in red. I'm looking at the traces that come through here, so that might work. Let me put it that way. That may have to change yet. Okay. So I've got 8 signals coming in from here. 7 of them are right here. And I can just define them the way I need them to be. So I think that can work. I'm going to move, let me set this back up to 1/10 inch centers. And I'm going to move this edge piece. We'll use that as one edge of the board. We'll use that as the other. Edge cuts. We'll draw a line from there. I want to come over to here. I'm going to come back 1. Arch. I'm going to start at the center point here and there. Back to a line. There. Oops. I think that's how big we need to be. Let me delete this one out. It's too long. And duplicate that one. Okay. Well, that gives us an idea of what the board will look like. As I said, we're getting close. I think it's routable from here. Again, I'm running too long on the videos, so let me save this, and we'll close it. Save that one, and we'll close this one also. And close that, and I'll see you in the next video.